Sorry, but I am not hearing.
Try now.
No. Stay browsing. Stay browsing.
Yeah.
What is browsing? Browsing basically what's on the internet, basically what we call browsing. You walk around town, you walk in, when you want to browsing. You go to maybe you go to your church website or maybe you go to the bank website, browsing. What I'm going to show you is all you know that your church website, YouTube website, and also that still your phone, your software number, and everything. That's literally what the rule is. All to do what is safe, what is not safe. All we do safety is what's like nobody has seen. Okay, next slide. All we make you see. With strong password. Maybe you might say, my password might just be my name, or my principal might just be my son name, or my husband name, or my name, or it's not. Maybe you can make your password a phrase. Like, my son is very smart. That's the password that goes my son name. Or you can make your password, my husband knows me, you're married,
Excuse me, can we view your screen? I think it would be good for us at home if we can view your screen, not seeing the screen. Thank you.
What we say is to make things safe is we have a strong password. And the best password is free. Short term is about your life, somebody else's life, your wife life, your dog life. My dog is very happy, it's black and white. That's the best password to dog live. So if they one thing, you're gonna put a password, put one thing, make sure it's a free.
Thank you.
Much more difficult to the best. Because me not knowing you can do your son demands. So have to do sometimes. In the market, and what is something when I try it on your bank website. So make the password strong and we do it by the send it for free. Next slide. Okay, two-factor authentication. Basically, that is password and PIN number. So, like you have a PIN number for your ATM card. What you want to do, by the way, is once let us say you have to log into your church website, your bank website, you want to have a password and something to send you something like a code, just to make sure. Because what people do now is once somebody knows your password, you can log into any one of your websites, you are log into your banking sites, social sites, social stuff, and what they do is steal your information. You might steal and how do I get that done? And follow the bank, you can use some put it on all the block authentication. Or if you use one of our products, you want it. Sorry.
That's your last sentence.
I was saying it's one help with setting that up, but what more information about instead of passing for the same thing. From Polybank, we will give you good tips for that. And you can actually, if you use one of our product banking, you will actually see that it definitely does what that says. Which is the password and your code. That means if somebody gets your password, you fill in your phone to get the code that will make it work. That's why we say two factors. It's two passwords for the same. So in case somebody get one, you have the other. It's much more difficult to get password than just one.
May I ask a question? Do I understand that we get enough passwords?
Yes, correct. It's called two-factor authentication, but it's really two passwords to log into the same.
Okay.
So if you have any site, if you have any website that you log into, you want to make sure that you have two passwords or two-factor normally.
Have your password,
Correct.
at least 66. No, or at least something else. I know.
That is correct.
So, since then, have a chat or no password.
Phrase, you can do a mix of both. Like me, by the way, I would say, my good friend loves me, and I put in full love as a seed. Or I would put it into a free love, but still have both of them. But I am putting it very soon. Because I'm separated, but the same or a wrong person. So you can have both of them, bind it to what should be a long password, character, number character, well, that makes it much more sure. So,
Since
you can use it for free, like it's in my drink card. At the password, you just want. You can have, you don't have to put a name or a word, and avoid putting your password and going to the dictionary. That's it's what this guy is. They try only with the dictionary.
I will work in the
Don't make sure your password is not in the dictionary. Honestly, this is very, very simple. Most things, what they do is run what they call a dictionary attack, where you will try only with the dictionary in the password box. The more is correct, log them. That's how we say avoid that situation. Sentence. What she was saying is when asked for 6 characters, what would she mean? Now, whenever you ask for 6 characters, it's the minimum. You can only put much more than that, which would be a long sentence of 3. Next slide. Don't click. What that means is do not click on things that seems very attractive or do not click on things that seem too good. Don't try to see the or you might tell you click this and you might win a prize of 3, click this and you will get a free pass to some so avoid clicking the plans. All of them are.
Yes.
All of them.
So true.
Are you-
You do it all the time.
you call it that? No, right?
And it's click.
What you see, those are lucky, you're still crashing. It's what that can happen to you is that you can steal your phone like that. That is really yes. Or you can click on your information like that and try to get a loan on your phone. You can try to get 35 something. Yes. So you don't try to do that end. So you only click things that you know what is sending. Daughter, you're showing her, for them telling yes, something to the marriage, you do that for me. You don't click on my daughter's wedding when she was married. Yes, that's the problem. So thank you. What you do is don't click on things that you raffles, auction, win a book, with 10 Bibles, anything like that. All right, next.
Oh, you have a lot of people are on young free things.
Well, the people that like money have to get to their own money. Because they like money on people who listen to this. No, no, it's yeah. So all of these guys are probably trying to trust me, there are guys that are right now trying to target. Nobody want that for the ways, what to try to avoid it. Guys pretending to be moving from the bank, guys pretending to be trying to act like from government, so security, in ministry, in financial center, these are people who have insurance companies, essential companies. These are people like not asking IDs, do not get it free. Ask them for their ID. When they present you follow and that means good. Not important. You need my store, I don't do that. It's a nice feather, you want to be here. Not your business information nice. Only people that are yes. So beware of guys coming at your home or as arguments on the phone, telling you can I have this and I have that. And most times when they call, they will try to make you get fearful. Who your phone food food, who you lose your social security money that happen every month, who your child loans insurance. It's not kind of thing. It's straight to get you frightened or to get you confused. Not get frightened, not confused. Because what we do is if this guy is ready from the insurance company, you should call them. And you cannot get them, which is what we nobody like to do. See, they cannot get them. Don't let him try. Don't let him do that for the telling you money. Because like from the ones in Bank. I do ask you, I don't financial bank. We are students to be and we so that we post to cultivate their parent. You want to just back the one and you the main hands. My area so already that and that's a very nice to see. Who would feel like let me try to help them. But this is not the time to try to help people when they show up on and on. Ask me for your information. Do not anybody who's not information. But it's correct. Basically, you have to already listening to good that he good big thing. Members come was to do calling one number, go the bank is calling for it and get real bank number. Not from it in the call. Don't take this good for that because force the line you have. And you know they will appear like trying to help you when they come into your gate, they try to fix it. Like they tell you, man, they will try to be it's a fun man. So he will try to be exceptionally nice. But he will not be operating. Whenever you come here, you will ask me anything that is personal. Anything at all, I just go and be very, very easy. It's personal. It's kind of as I was saying before, most of these scams involving telling senior citizens that the American insurance, the issue of American insurance card, the party where their address, they tell you what American insurance, and they ask you for your physical information. And you do something to decide what would give you a bank or something that would give them your situation. So just remind you that you want. Or they will tell you the facility someone in the roads by the church, just more livable and for some days and some information. And the all kind of things. or they will say there's a new bank policy and you come and take information from the bank. And I tell you should be able to report any of the city get that information. Or census, so you send me, so you can go into the form and try to do all that. Your phone number, sign here, and call you. Just be mindful of calling you on the phone or sending email. So, just be mindful of the companies and so what they call it fishing, maybe a little
Recording in progress.
why they call it fishing. Maybe not about fishing is could be on the line, so we go or the line that they use in the internet. So you send an email to you telling you lost some money in the bank, and then you click some link, which as we say, we don't click, you see the one at all, you don't click for that, and you start giving you likes. So just be wary of voice prompts. Once you want to say code or somebody telling you, can you say yes, please? Well, can you authorize that you don't need it, whatever it is? Be wary of this kind of report conversation. Which is your voice, and those are going to invest in this kind. We want to invest, only to invest in the bankers company, opportunities. We know that you invest that brand, and we see all the banks. As I said before, this is something that we are going to do. We are going to pretend they are some sort of company or some bank, some company next time. Okay, separate flags, so we can look at what somebody is calling on the phone or the ask command. It's just somebody feel that is great plans. As soon as this is happening, it's it's that person trying to scare you. As we say, you try to give you all that to scare you. You use the insurance corporate, you the money, you on, and you kill that and stuff. This is stuff scary. When you see the people coming from your place or the people on the phone, and the first thing you try to go in, you do this kind of thing, and you're ready to do something. We enter that person might not find it's declaring to be the authority, like an higher agent or bank employee. As we say, if somebody calls that information, we do our own investigation and we call for our own bank or own money. Are they asking for personal information? Like you want your passport, you want your mother name, your son name, your child name, this kind of information there you try to especially on the phone. Next slide. So, and we have some great products that it's over there is expected. I think the banking now, you have to go there. Not only but I know that my alerts, I personally alerts. Once you have your banking information, any website, like the bank websites, there's a form or own product, we have manager. This is to help you. This is like it's my wallet. And if someone is called on me, I will just move it. But if you put on your Windows wallet, what you have to do, once anybody try to get money from my account, once anybody try to put money on my account, once anybody try to hack anybody else on my account, and this is what we call manager. See what somebody got to do. Information number. Just be aware that this is a stuff that you can't do. Say this. If I say, I'd like to go with banking because it's for young people, we do have a way that text number that you need to balance instantly. You text a number and you bring your combine. And these are all the ways that we can use the machine anybody that will become the selling one balancing. There are easy ways that you can just do yourself from us. And this if you can't see up there, but and then whenever you go to a website, any website online, always look for this padlock sign. Make sure you see there will always be a padlock sign next to any secure site. Any site that is secure, it should have this padlock sign. And what that means is the site is secure. Any site you go to, any site with a specific site that won't give your bank information or your other stuff is make sure that you can see a pattern. Use www.mychristianchurch.com. Make sure you can see that padlock sign next to you. If you have problem with your name, very close.
That also hold you know whatever it is. And if there is no padlock sign on there, whatever, how do you get padlock sign inserted?
No, you can insert it. Like if you go on that's actually the bank website. So the bank would have put that for you to make sure you know the bank site is secure. That's one way the bank for you to do. We are secure.
I don't have that.
So if you want, they want the bank website there.
But if you visit a page that does not have a padlock, it is not secure.
So don't try to put it in because it should be there already. Let's make you know that.
What is new top of?
So,
Top of is a feature available on mobile.
That's a page of our Ubuntu website, the front page. I already put that there so you can see what your site is. But we do all for your phone.
Okay, so you understand.
Or we work activity.
Yeah.
Support and security. So these are something that you can do to help you do safe growth online, and you might see what exam your software, and that's what that you probably can get your son or your grandchildren to make sure you let them know that you are real what it is. Antivirus to test it on all viruses online. But only tell your son to make sure you don't have antivirus on. And always remind your grandchildren, your children, yourself, keep your phone and pocket. Very important. One I want to about food. You guys have, but most times, what's the phone? Phone, the one will tell you very important. That's a very safe way of always making sure the phone is secure. And making sure. As we say, they open an email, somebody doesn't know, again, you will. When you call anything on the computer that sure. Like do not let somebody call you tell you it will send you a copy of banks monthly application. And we say don't install on things. Somebody call you and tell you of bank software, including it alive, and be cautious as my was saying, like people on pop-ups. As you can see, all of them are one living. So none of them are true, the others are lying. You do the right, you set the dog. There's no way that I can say anyone. Next. And say we saw our website secure, which is I'm sure some people right. So this goes to NBD.com. HTTPS. So this is what we will say when we see a site up is secure. Yes, that S means this S means secure. When you go to our site or any secure site, it should have an S right there and all the padlock. Once see a padlock on the website, that means there's a S. The S means secure. When you see padlock, it's secure. And that's how that was it. I was a little bit clear and I want every little bit more area. And if you have any questions, regarding yeah.
A very good night.
I have a question. As a security, the fact or sometimes you get somebody from the vaccine, you have to put your question. Right. If that's not a security risk, no, because everybody can imitate me or at the back and say and send somebody. Correct. And when you open it, it's a malware, it's a spyware, and it's a way to account. He said that the bank, somebody said that to make sure that we know it will be and appreciate your people say that they're correct, but as you say, it's something like this, like you go to the bank is doing that. And if you feel like it's not the bank, obviously you can call the bank, but do not click and it's the bank. As you say, from the back of the bank. Very correct. Or just be my bank.
How would you get rid of it if you don't do it?
You will delete it. As you have said that. No. What will you get those links? Or if you delete it by the text message commenting within the text message. Or in the email within the one.
You said some earlier in the use an updated
Virus.
How would we know?
You can ask. I say you can bring the young to a shop, check it for you, or if you have the young children, very much around.
But don't know what to have young children. I will do that.
You have to go to the shop. The shop.
The shop, you know, small, secure, and the appointment field.
And what I spoiler that fix the young machine.
Yeah.
You can hold them to.
They will check your first thing, whether you have to put right that kind of thing.
It is.
I mean, if you have only got this there.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, and we're taking notes of it. It's a good suggestion, yeah.
Most of us, everyone's
I will.
because we are good. Well, those and
You can come in the bank, right? And tell you, every bank employee set up all your balance because we have to do that. We set up all your balance for you, you have to do the same. So once it's set up, what you can do is you don't get out of money with somebody.
Yes, but you can find the same con people in that.
You are not small liars and but what I say is this money, you know, and it's if you use the money to buy me, you will ask for it.
Well, I get it back. But the bank already, I have come from other things.
So we actually have a representative who will be talking more about morality and voting.
Honestly, there's some legal
Right now.
Thank you so much, Nigel.
Supposed to be here in first place, I'm going to.
Yes.
So now.
She's actually our executive manager for legal services. So she is going to talk to you today about how to protect yourself from cybercrime. So Nigel just told you everything that you should do and should not do when you're browsing. You know, she's going to tell you how you can protect yourself, apart from what Nigel said, from cybercrime. Okay, so let's go welcome to Felix Frederick. Welcome to
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for coming out. Felix Frederick. 3S.
The camera person is blocking everything.
Okay, so this morning, my colleague has spoken to you about how to identify cybercrime and the things that you should and should not do. I'm going to go a little more in depth in terms of re-emphasizing what he says, focusing on the things that you should not do, and also tying it into a little financial planning so that you can avoid the pitfalls of cybercrime. So for those of us who have children overseas, our grandchildren or people that we send money to, we're looking at the topic of sending money. Don't send money unless you're sure it's the real person who contacted you. Hang up and call your grandchildren or friend's phone number to see if the story checks out. You could also call a different friend or relative to confirm the facts. So what we have noticed is that we have some scammers who will call elderly people or senior citizens and pretend that they are a family or friend in need and ask you to send money. So what we're advising is that sometimes these calls may be legitimate, but most times they're not. And if you're not sure, what you should do is hang up and use your own numbers, the numbers that you have stored for these people, and call them to find out whether it is true. Now, before we go to the next slide, what I would want to emphasize is that financial planning as well.
Can you please share with us at home? Hello, we are not seeing we're not sharing. Please share with us at home. I saw the slides from Niger, but I can't see the one from the lawyer.
I seen it now?
Yes, I am. Not
Okay, okay. Great, so let's keep.
Now, another thing that might happen is that somebody might call you up or maybe ask you to give them a mandate so that they can operate your account for you, pretending to be a family, a friend, your child. And what the mandate does, the mandate is a written authorization from you that is presented at financial institutions, which allows the holder or the named person in the mandate or the written document to have access to your accounts. So what we are suggesting to you is that you do not give mandates to anybody, especially if you get an email request or somebody calls you over the phone and asks you to prepare a mandate. What you should do is that you can nominate somebody as a trusted companion or friend, and that is somebody that you have total trust and confidence in, that you would speak with in circumstances where you get these types of phone calls or these emails. But what is advisable is that if it is that you want to give a mandate to somebody, it has to be somebody that you trust, and it could be your children, your close niece, and stuff like that. But when you are given the mandate, what you need to do is to ensure that you visit an attorney, to ensure that you set parameters, so that when you are giving authority to the person, you only give them authority to do certain actions. So if it is, you may want to have a mandate that says, my daughter Camila can withdraw money on my account. However, you may want to set a limit, be it $200 a month or $500 a month, because it may be that you need somebody to go to your accounts to do transactions, to maybe buy your medical supplies that you are unable to do yourself. But at the same time, you want to ensure that you're not just giving the person unrestricted access to your accounts. Because in the circumstances where you do not plan properly, what would happen is that you may give somebody a mandate, and at the end of the day, they withdraw all your funds. Another thing that we want to be very careful about is power of attorneys. So I know this is a cyber security, but at the same time, we need to understand financial security before we can even think about cyber protection, or in addition to cyber protection. Because you may not fall prey to a scam, a cybersecurity scam, but you may fall prey to other types of financial elder abuse. And this is one of the major ways that we see our elders are being taken advantage of. Thank you. So for example, you may find that you would give power of attorney to a family member, your child, to have access to your account. Now, when somebody holds a power of attorney on your behalf, unless you actually revoke that power of attorney, or you become mentally incapacitated, or you die, that power of attorney is valid. And if it is that you do not construct the power of attorney properly, just like the mandate, you may find yourself in difficulties. Because what often happens is that people grant power of attorneys, and most of the time the seniors who grant power of attorneys to individuals to access their accounts, but they do not explain properly to the attorney what it is that they want. So what you will find is that they are giving broad powers to withdraw on my account, to sell my property, to collect rents, and all of those things. And sometimes when the seniors give those kinds of power of attorney, they do not get access to the funds, because whoever has this power of attorney basically takes control of the account. So it is important that when you decide to give a power of attorney, that the person that you're giving the power of attorney to is somebody that you trust, that you go to your attorney, and you give the attorney instructions. So when you are giving your attorney instructions to create the power of attorney, whoever you're giving the power to should not be present, so that you can speak freely with your attorney and explain exactly what you want. You may want to say, I want to give my niece Sharon power of attorney to access my accounts, so that in the event that I have to pay my bills or my medical supplies, because I don't see properly, I cannot really walk around. So you want to ensure that you put a cap. You want to ensure that you state the reasons why the person has the power of attorney. So you want to ensure that you can put limits on your accounts. So I hope that you understand the importance of those things, so that when you're thinking about making your plans for your financial security, that you take these things into consideration and it is at the forefront of your mind. Yes, sir?
Are you suggesting that let's call the individual that it is more the TV rather than a general call?
It depends. It depends on your needs. If it is that you want something specific, then a limited power of attorney is better than just giving a general power of attorney. So these are the things that you need to consider when you're planning.
There's another question.
Yes.
Yes. I know sometimes when I have seen it there, you give power of attorney to, say, Sharon, like you say. And you trust Sharon, right? Because that's your niece.
Right.
But the niece probably know how much money you have in her account, because money does talk. You know that at work. Your trusted niece, being that you're an elderly person, your trusted niece will go with everything you have and put you in a nursing home stereo.
The chance you have to take the risk. There's a risk in everything.
Well, there's always
risk,
that
always a
element,
risk.
because people, I'm sure
You trust
they want
people
you to
and
see.
right.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm saying, if you're giving up power of attorney, at
Right,
least
sure.
put some limitations on it.
Mhm.
If it is that you can only withdraw $1,000 from your account every month and no more, you know, those sorts of things.
Mhm.
And another thing that you will need to do is that if you know you have given mandates of power of attorney, please check your bank statements regularly.
Mhm.
We email the bank statement at National Bank of Dominica. We email the bank the statements to you. You can get them on your mobile banking. So check it. If it is that you are not computer savvy like me, you may decide to come down to the bank one day and just ask to see your bank statements and your balances. Because at least if you do that often enough, you get an idea as to the activities that are happening on your account. And when you see that there is abuse happening, then you can always revoke the power of attorney. So it is always prudent that you check your bank statements regularly to ensure that whoever you have given mandate or power of attorney to are acting in accordance with your instructions or your intentions for giving the power of attorney. So we cannot stress that enough. Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Okay. So if you give somebody a new power of attorney with essentially the same powers, the old power of attorney is revoked. You can also write to the bank or wherever the power of attorney can be used, explicitly stating that you have revoked the power of attorney. Well, you can do it by word of mouth, but it is always important to have a trail. Because you could call somebody and say, yes, I'd like to revoke this power of attorney that you have on file, and then the person might not remember, especially if it's a busy period. As soon as they put down the phone, somebody else is right in front of them. So things happen. So it is prudent that if you do the phone call, you follow up in writing, either a letter or an email, but have some documented, some written documentation of it, so that it is always present. Because if you send a letter, then that letter will be placed on your file. So it means that when the person opens the system, they will see that there is a revocation of the existing power of attorney. Yes, sir? Oh, sorry. Before I take you, this lady had a question before you. Yes, ma'am?
Would you wise to have several powers of attorneys?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I mean, if let's say you put one in charge of your property, then another one in charge of your cash. So I was thinking.
Well, you can do that, but it would have it has its pros and its cons as well. So you might want to think about that option before you actually go ahead and do it. Okay? But nothing prevents you from doing that.
Just don't let two of them know.
But that can actually cause some problems. So you have to really sit down and talk it through with your attorney, and your attorney will give you the best advice based on your circumstances. Because there may be other avenues that you can explore other than the power of attorney. Okay? Yes, sir? It depends. In some circumstances, we do accept written mandates, but it is not always. What we normally request is a power of attorney. Excuse me? Right. We do not have any power of attorney that is not registered because it is not legally valid. What's your question?
She wants to know what is meant by power of attorney.
A power of attorney is a written mandate. It is a document that you give, right, appointing somebody else to act on your behalf in terms of your finances and other things. Excuse me? No. Right. Okay, so, and another thing that is important as well in your financial planning is the creation of your wills. A lot of people don't create wills while they're living, and this causes confusions when they're dead. So another way of protecting your finances in terms of after you pass is to have your will, so that you can ensure whoever it is that you want to leave your property to actually benefits from it. Okay? So let's go back to the don'ts. Yes, sir? No. A power of attorney dies when the donor of the power dies. So if you give a power of attorney and you die, the power of attorney is null and void. If you give a power of attorney and you become mentally incapacitated, that power of attorney becomes null and void. And obviously it will go. In charge of what? So in the event that you become mentally incapacitated, what should happen is that your relative, either your child, your husband, whoever the case may be, can apply to the courts under the Mental Health Act to become a receiver, and that person will manage your assets for you. Well, if that doesn't happen and you have children or family who is willing to take care of you, then they can.
But what if you don't have anybody for that matter to take over?
If you don't have?
If you don't have anybody for that matter, because you know they're alone.
Yes, yes.
They don't have relatives, or even if they have relatives who will care for them.
Right.
Unless there is something in it for them.
That's true.
You understand?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any specific laws that deal with that. But I am thinking that if there is somebody who may not be a family member but who is willing to take up the task, they can apply under the Mental Health Act for receivership as well. Yes, sir?
You said it's a person who has given up incapacitated, which means he cannot act for himself, and over till he lives. In that case, somebody can get a guardianship to take over the person's business and act for the person.
Yes.
Go to the court and get a guardianship.
Under the mental, you can apply for somebody under the Mental Health Act. And then the person who makes the application, if the court grants the application, will become a receiver, and they will be responsible for managing the assets of the mentally incapacitated. Okay, so let's go back to the don'ts. Don't open emails offering free things in the subject line. The way that these scammers get us is that they will tell you they're giving you something for free. And because you hear free or you see free, you're ready to click. Your hands ready to go. So be especially wary of any emails that offer free vacations, prize money, or any other gifts. Scammers know it's human nature to respond to these types of offers. They use these gimmicks to get people to click on links that unleash a virus or take visitors to sites designed to collect personal information. So I mean, who doesn't want to get something for free? True. We all want to get things for free. But we must always be thinking, and we must be saying, exactly. So at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself a question. I am getting a free vacation. How is that person recouping their money for that free vacation they're getting? And once you start to ask yourself those types of questions, then you realize that something is amiss. So you don't click.
Like when they put on the sentence and you can go.
Right.
People jump on it.
And then another thing they like to do is tell you win no money, maybe $50,000, and then in order for you to collect the money, you have to pay $5,000. And you're saying to yourself, but if I win 50, why you can't take your money from 50? And they tell you, no, we cannot do that, you have to send it separate. That is already a red flag that you should be alert to. That means that this person wants your $5,000, but they're not going to give you any 50. Phishing emails can appear so realistic that it's easy to understand how people fall for them. Some will look like an email coming from your bank or your credit union with a warning that you need to change your password. You'll find a link inside the email that will redirect you to a site that closely mirrors your financial institution's legitimate site. Never use links containing an email, instead go directly to the site and log in. So you may get an email from, supposedly, from National Bank of Dominica telling you that your bank account has been compromised, and in order to protect it, you need to click on this link. Anytime you see an email like that, that is already a red flag. It's a warning. So once you see that, you delete it. And then what you can do, just to make sure or to give yourself that ease of mind, you call your bank directly. You do not use any numbers that came in the email. So you will go online and look for the bank's number if you already don't have it, or you may want to use your, if you have debit cards or your passbook, most likely there is a number for the bank, and you contact the bank directly. Or you go on the bank's website and contact the bank to find out whether or not they send that email to you. But do not click on any links that are contained in emails. Now with the same email scams you might find, or phone scams, you might find people calling pretending to be relatives saying that they're in need of some cash or they're in need of money, maybe for them to go and study, or something happened to their child, they were in an accident, they didn't want you to send the child overseas, and all of those things. Once it is that they're asking you for gift cards, that is another red flag. So once you see that, you should hang up, or if you actually receive an email, delete it. And if you have a number for the person who supposedly sent the email, you contact them directly to find out whether or not they initiated contact with you. And never provide your personal financial information, including your social security number or account numbers, to unknown individuals via phone or email. So anytime you get an email or a phone call asking you to divulge your bank information or your account number or your PIN, your personal identification number, then that is a red flag. You do not give that kind of information to anybody. That is supposed to be information that is only known to you. And in circumstances when you do give out that information, it means that if you suffer a financial loss, the bank or whoever it is, if it's a credit union or whichever financial institution, may not be liable to
refund, reimburse you.
To reimburse you for the loss that you suffered. Because by right, you are not supposed to give out your PIN number under any circumstances. So you do not want to do that and then suffer a loss and cannot get back your money. So I am urging you, if you get anybody asking you for that information via phone or email, please do not give it to them. Okay? The government agencies will not ask you for your financial information. So one of the most popular scams that I use on senior citizens is that you may get a call telling you that you owe inland revenue, and you have to pay them immediately. And then they're asking you to provide them with a card or your PIN numbers that they can actually go in and take the money and stuff like that. They might threaten that if you do not do that, that you will get arrested. Do not fall for those scams. All you need to do is that if somebody calls you and they're telling you this, you put down the phone. You go in your phone book and you look for IRB's number, Inland Revenue, and you call them and you ask whether or not you owe them. But most times, once it is that they are calling you and they're threatening you, it means that it is a scam. So please do not fall into that. Another scam is that people will come to you, or they will call you, or they will email you with a great offer, work from home, earn $2,000 a day. And what they do is that, or they ask you to take an online survey, and at the end of the survey, they tell you that you will get, if it's $300 or $500. In essence, what they're doing is that they're collecting information about individuals, asking people to give their PIN number, and what they do is that they will go into your accounts, sometimes create bodies, transfer money to you, and they might transfer $2,000. But that money is actually coming from somebody else's account. And what they ask you to do is to take out your $300 that they said that they would pay you, and ask you to wire or send the balance to another account, and it actually goes to them. Please do not fall victim to those types of scams as well. Anytime somebody is telling you that they're going to pay you for a service and they're sending more money than what they told you they would be paying you, that is already a red flag. Because there is no way somebody is legitimately employing you and for $300 and going to pay you $2,000 and ask you to send back $1,700 to them. That just doesn't make sense. But unfortunately, we still fall prey to these scams and do it. So if it is that you get those emails, please disregard them. The bank will never ask you to disclose personal identification for any of your cards or any account information through emails. If you have a concern, you can call the bank directly, get the bank's number from its website or through your phone book. Never use the numbers that are provided in the email to contact your bank where you have a concern, because more than likely you will be contacting the scammer. Seniors, please do not be afraid to reach out if you find yourself in a situation where you have concerns or you feel uneasy about the information that somebody is providing to you over the phone or through an email. And it is also good to talk to other people about it. Let them know what your experiences are so that they can be on the lookout themselves. Also, I heard Nigel talking to you about urgency. When you get emails or phone calls and the people telling you have a breach and you need to do this now. Anytime you feel pressured into doing something, stop, do not panic, ask yourself a question. Because once you start to feel pressure to do something, it means that somebody is trying to get you to act without thinking. So it is important that you take a break, you think about the situation, and then you can act. So once you do that, then you allow yourself an opportunity to think, and then you can say, oh, but this does not make sense. Let me call my bank directly. And for those of us who like Facebook, please limit the amount of information that you put on Facebook. Sometimes we do things without thinking. We post pictures, we put our address, we pin our locations and all of those things. We are inviting scammers into our personal lives, and sometimes we are providing them with the information that they need to rob us without even realizing it. So please be very careful about the information that you put online. So for example, you may be putting your birthdays, your anniversary, your favorite grandchild, your favorite color, the things that you like. And those types of information is what the scammers gather and then they use that information to figure out your passwords. So you may not be thinking of it through that lens, but they are thinking of it through that lens, and that is the kind of information they want you to put, because it allows them the opportunity to come into your lives and figure out your passwords, important information, get your account details, and all of those things. So let us be very careful when we are using Facebook and when we are posting. The kinds of things that we post, do not post our addresses, do not post personal information. Once we follow those tips, it will better protect us.
Could I just suggest another thing we like to do is to say where we are going.
Yes.
And then we set up our home for people to know nobody is there.
Okay. So it's not only in terms of cyber security, but just for general safety as well. We should follow those tips. And most importantly, if it sounds too good to be true, then probably so when you get these offers that just sounding so amazing, and you're saying, boy, I don't want to miss this opportunity because this offer sounds like a once in a lifetime thing, and it will never come again. Well, it didn't really come because it's really not true. So do not fall victim to these types of scams. And just be vigilant and be on the lookout. So if it is that you have concerns about anything, or somebody tells you something, or you get an email and you're not sure, reach out to somebody that you trust. Reach out to your bank, reach out to government agencies to ask the question to find out whether what is being communicated to you through emails or the phone is actually correct. So do not take any action until you have verified that whatever is being said to you is truthful, it's accurate, and it is not a scam. So if you're in doubt, do not act. And as I said, it is important to talk to each other, because it means that when you talk to each other, you let people know your experiences. So something might have happened to you, you may have fallen victim to a scam, but if you talk to somebody else and you share your experiences, at least that person will know what to look out for and hopefully avoid falling prey to the scams. So it is important to share information with each other. So you get a call, you'll call Mary. Hey Mary, you know so called me, they say they're from wherever and they need money and stuff. You think that is a legitimate thing? Talk to each other so that you can understand. And I mean, two heads are always better than one. And more than likely, you will realize that some of these calls or some of these emails are actually scams. But share your experiences so that you all help each other. So you all are like watchdogs. I'm looking out for my neighbor is looking out for me. Right. So do you all have any questions?
I have a question. May I?
Go ahead.
But I am a little uncomfortable about it.
But you can always ask me after.
No, I ask it because I have protection here of many kinds. Sometimes we get the impression that the bank is not as helpful as you would like them to be. I'm deliberately choosing my words. Because you hear about your money just going. You hear about, oh, your account is inactive, so we're taking so much money per month. Now, I cannot call that a scam, but what can you tell us to make our relationship with the bank better? That's how I'll ask it. Or you should clap for
Number one, the bank doesn't just go into people's accounts and take money, right? So if it is that you realize that your account is going down and that you have not withdrawn from the account, then you reach out to the bank. We have a customer service line that you call or you can come in. You reach out to the bank and you speak to us. sometimes it may not necessarily be, because we have had situations where people would say, so and so, such and such amount of money came out from my account, and I didn't withdraw the money. But when they come into the account, into the bank, and you go through their statements with them, they realize that they might have signed up for a subscription and they did not realize. Because sometimes we are curious, we on our computer shopping or whatever the case, surfing, and we see stuff pop up and we click on it and it says, try me, I'm free. But what you may not realize, it says, try me, I'm free, but I'm only free for the first month. And then you sign up, you put your name, your email address, and all sorts of things. You ask for your bank details, and you put that in, not realizing that the first month is free, and then after that you get charged. So people will then say, oh, the bank thief my money. That's the first thing that comes to people's mind. Yeah. The bank thief my money, but they did not realize that by signing up to that ad or whatever the case may be, they have already given authority for the monies to come out from their account every month.
Yeah, that is one.
That's one. That's one. There may be other circumstances. Maybe there is a court order that has been served on the bank and saying that we must deduct this money from your account. We have to comply, so we will. So when you come to the bank, once you make the inquiry, we'll go through your account and explain to you. Sometimes it may be a situation where you're a victim of fraud. Somebody might have gotten your account information. Maybe you went to an unscrupulous place to buy something, and the workers might have taken your card information or your card details, or you signed off, or you're a victim of cybercrime, and somebody has gotten your bank information and have been able to siphon money from your account. So generally, when we see money missing from our account, the first thing we like to say is the bank is a thief. The bank thieving my money. But sometimes it makes sense for you to just pull out your go online, look at your statements, and see whether or not there is a corresponding transaction for the money that you're missing. And when you look at that, sometimes most times it explains where the money is going. Because the bank does not have the authority to just go into your account and take your money.
Okay, so we'll take two more questions.
Yes, sir.
And then we have one more question.
Okay, so we're going to take the gentleman first and then we'll come to you.
Just a follow-up on what
Right.
Hold on, we have a question from
I was saying that you accurately mentioned all the legit reasons why money might go out of your account.
Right.
But I think what Ophelia might not be saying is sometimes there's a policy where the bank itself takes the money, you have no choice. You take it each month and refuse to take it.
That's what the insert.
If you have a credit.
For the accounts that cannot be used. I'm talking about experiences. It's not $5, not every. No, it's not $5. I know what I'm saying, you know. Maybe I should discuss that another time. But when I can say that the Council on Aging suffered that way. Because we had an account and money was just going up, and we couldn't understand it. And then we were told it's because the account was inactive. You know what we did? We closed it and went somewhere else.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
But we did that because our money was just going, and Council don't have money already. So, you know, we didn't feel good about it, and we were not getting the satisfaction. We just closed. So that's why I was trying to be nice, but I guess I cannot be.
This is always a conversation that we can have offline, so you can see us.
Yeah, but that's members of council.
That's okay.
The other thing is that there are some people who have problems with checks that come and then there isn't enough money, or they have money in another account and the bank goes to that account and takes the money.
Well, I cannot speak to that because I do not know the situation accurately, but it's always something that we can discuss after this meeting. So
Okay, I don't like what you're doing me. Yeah, you're brushing me up, but that's okay. I will deal.
You see, because when you have to talk about those things, you have a lot of different things that you have to factor in. There are a lot of questions that have to be asked, and We do not want to discuss his personal information because this is being broadcasted live. So,
but as long as people know, well, cops are not afraid to talk, and they know that. And we are very, very grateful, and maybe I should have given, well, I'm not the president, I'm not the president, but but I can say on his behalf, on behalf of everyone, that we quite appreciate this opportunity. But what I would like is for the bank to see us as real partners when it comes to all of those transactions, because those things affect all of us older people.
So what we can do is that we can endeavor to reach out and maybe to have a forum where people can let us know the concerns that they have, and then we can address it in that manner. But I do not think now is appropriate for that because of the issue.
Very well done. And
all right. We have one question.
Okay, so.
Ask a question. Ask a question.
Okay.
Phil was talking about there's another dimension to it. One of the banks that you recently bought had a policy where you had to have a minimum amount in your fund. Yes. If you didn't have that minimum, they would charge you. The question is, does the National Bank have such a policy with respect to the minimum amount?
Yes, we actually do. So for saving account, you have to have a minimum of $100 on your account. Anytime it goes below $100, there's a fee for it.
What?
$100. Minimum. Actually, all banks on Ireland actually have that policy. It might be different, almost 100, others might be high. So that's to encourage you to keep it at 100 and more. So anytime it goes below 100, there's a fee. So what we can do, we can discuss that further after, and we have one more presentation because I don't want to keep you all too long. So we have one more presentation from Crystal Pagan. You've probably heard that name before. Crystal is going to show you everything that we can do. Well, not everything because we won't have time for everything. But she's going to show you a few things that we can do on mobile. Everybody knows about mobile, right? So now it's going to be a little more interactive because you need to use your phones. So if you have your phone, okay, you can pull out your phone because we're going to do a little exercise in terms of what we can do on mobile. So Crystal, let's give a warm welcome to Crystal.
Don't forget that at home, so we can sit down food and please don't forget to share work.
What's the password?
Yes, but I don't want to say.
You have to put it for me. I think that's what you have. Where's the name of that?
Yes, I would have been.
I'm passing around there.
Yes,
Okay, so Crystal will present and then after we will do the exercise, okay?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Everybody's doing fine?
Yes, I'm
happy to hear that. And I'm happy to hear that too. Alright, I see a lot of familiar faces to NBD as well. Thank you for taking the time off to come here. I know sometimes it can be a little bit much. Some persons feel like people are retired, have nothing to do, but I know otherwise. Right? So thank you very much for taking the time off to come here, and for those of you that have decided to join us on the online or the live, thank you as well. So what I'm here to do
is to tell you about, a little more about mobile banking. You may already have known about it or you may have heard about it. What we're going to try to do is try to reach you or make you understand how it can benefit you. Not necessarily to fool your head with a whole set of things, but at least to let you understand the simple things that you can do to make your life easier, okay? So, mobile banking might be a nice, pretty term, or you might try to figure out what that really is, but it's the bank's application or you having to go online to access your bank account. As easy and simple as that, okay? It is safe, for sure, and it's also very simple. I have a very short video.
This the number mobile banking, which gives you instant access to finances from anywhere, is literally the faster, easier way to bank.
Tell me what you want. We're going to go through that, eh? So,
transfer funds to here. You can also easily pay employees and even order checks. NBD business banking at your fingertips. So get started today with mobile banking, the faster, easier way to bank. This is mobile banking.
okay, guys. So, things that we can do on mobile banking. What we are going to go through? We are going to go through the ability of doing payments, paying your bills, transfer between accounts, the ability to top up and to set your others. Next. So let's start with the first one. Payments. Right? Whenever you get the opportunity to log on to mobile banking, excuse me, to my voice, there's a tab you're going to see that says payments. What does that allow you to do? It allows you to be able to go on and actually pay. So let's give an example. Let's say there's this guy that always comes cut your grass in the yard. Or there's this lady that does your pedicures. Or this other person, maybe it's your doctor or someone that comes to your house to do home visits because you don't have you maybe have a bad back or a bad leg and you have a therapist and you have to pay that person. In your mind right now, you might want to leave home, go to the bank, get money, go home, sit down and wait, so when the gardener comes, you can pay him. Or the lady that doing your hair, you have to leave home, go in the bank, stand up in the line, take your little $50 for her to go and wash your hair, put your curlers, dry you nice, make you look nice, and then you go back home, same thing. What we are saying is that, excuse me, you can eliminate that extra trip by paying the person via mobile banking. Now here is the security. 1, you do not have to make that trip. 2, when you go and withdraw the money, there's a possibility of 1, it getting lost, 2, somebody taking it from you. Right? The next thing is, because this payment is free, the extra trip, because in our mind we're thinking, well, when I go in the bank, I'm not paying any money. But think about it. You have to get up in the morning, fix your little self, take a bus, or start your transport, go to the bank, look for parking in Rosewood that don't have parking already. Right? Take the walk, stand up in the line, say how long, you know the business, and then go back home, and then all of that over. By the time you reach home, 3/4 of your money gone. You can listen to your favorite program on the radio. You miss your programs on the TV, and all of that. Just so you want to go to $100. When you could have take your phone or go online, go onto your application, pay the person, and that money leaves your account and goes to their account directly. You're not touching any money. They get their money straight for sure, and you have a trail I can tell you paid it. Right? Yes. The next option, I know for sure most of our senior citizens guilty of. My mother is not even a senior citizen and she's very guilty of that. Wanting to go to the line, take money just to go and stand up in Dominica line and the Wasco line and digital line on the 14th. That bend in the corner and with the hot sun, you want water, your food continues. Why? Because you want to go and stand up in the line to pay your bills.
I do it all the time.
But you socialize.
I understand. You can socialize. So many other ways that way to socialize. You can go and standing up in the line, you don't like you socialize, and then you fail up.
No, but
You
you
stand up, you
people
go along.
talking. Child, you don't know. Senior, what is senior?
Sometimes
You're supposed to be young people.
sometimes we hear little
I have no banking rights. But you have an option. It gives you an option.
I mean, children
Yes,
mistake.
you have an option. That's the thing. If you don't want to
So
go, you
let
don't
us just say,
That's the point.
this is the
Point
let's
is
say
the
if you really don't have time.
Yes.
You
The
put
option,
them
you have an
together
option.
and you don't have time. That's not one of the months when you want to put your president down and stand up and talk to your friends in the back.
Yes,
That is
sometimes-
just the month when you really just want to get
Set night,
things handled and you want to get out.
Right. You have the
Or
options.
outside it's raining a lot and you just today you just not in the mood to go outside in all of the rain. You know? Right. So the option on mobile banking
That is the option.
where we have the ability to pay your bills and also a number of other businesses. So there are a number of businesses that sign up. Everybody you can think of that you have to pay bills now with, you can go into mobile banking and pay them. They get their money the same day. So I know in your mind you may be thinking, like my mom, boy, me use mobile banking and pay them. Like next thing when I reach home, I don't have lights. That's not the case. As soon as you use mobile banking to pay Domlet gets that payment
Right.
the very same day and they can apply the payment. Same with your internet, same with your water bill, same and whichever internet provider you have. You sell off, it's the same thing. Okay?
Very clear.
Alright. I don't want to get down into the nitty-gritties too much. We want to confuse you and give you too much information. But at least the know-hows we can handle that after. But at least you are aware that that option is available. Okay? Alright. Now, as I was saying, so transfer between accounts. Let's say you have a checking account. Right? I'm happy I had that option there because I remember this is where I read that up. You have a checking account and you maybe write 1, 2 little checks. You check your balance and you figure, on my savings account maybe I have $1,000. On my checking account I have 100. But I wrote 2 or 3 checks that might be equal to $600. Instead of them making us, oh my God, I write checks, I want to know what's happening. And same thing again, we can go through the process again about getting ready and coming to the bank just to transfer money. You can log on to mobile banking, transfer from savings account, transfer to checking account among 600. Submit, okay, and that's it. All of your checks have been handled, you don't have headache. You sit down and you can take your time and watch your cornmeal boil, you don't have to make it go, right? Right. Now transfer to accounts of grandchildren. I put that there specifically because I know sometimes at that age maybe you have a little grandson, a little goddaughter or something, you maybe have a little account for them. You maybe want to make sure maybe every little month you give them a little $20 on the side, that's for them to handle their business. You really don't have to come to the bank to do that. Right? If it's once it's an account that is attached to your mobile banking, or you yourself open it for them, you have control, you are able to transfer funds from one account to the next account at ease. Okay? That's what you're saying. Now top up.
What is that top up? That's right.
That part is so important, especially for you guys.
Alright.
So for example, you have a child, niece. Miss Annette said some of us don't have, some people are lonely, so you maybe even have nobody to call. And your service finishing on your phone, maybe that's your little entertainment, that is how you're going to watch and see what's going on. You're going on Emonews so to see what's going on, you're seeing around. And your service finishing, your top up finishing, you don't want to bother nobody and say, money coming up, what? Put a little top up for me, yeah? A little $10. You don't want to have to ask nobody to do that. You know you have the money on your account, but you really just don't want to bother people, you want to check your accounts. Agree? So mobile banking gives you the ability to be able to go on, choose top up, and you can choose digital flow, you put in the amount, you click submit, you go ahead and apply, and you get your phone topped up at the very same time. I use top up every single time. Since we introduced this on mobile banking, I have never done any other top up avenue. I use this. Yes, ma'am? Okay. As I was telling you guys, in know-hows, etc., I don't want to get too into it to confuse anybody, but the tab is under the payment tab. So if you're familiar with mobile banking, when you go under the payments tab, go up on this slide before.
Okay. Payments.
Yeah.
Or payments.
So you
Or
see
top
here,
up
you
on the
want to see
payment.
the top one and the one that's Right. So you have top up, pay merchants, pay, and payment issue. So when you click top up, you have to click top up. When you click top up, the screen that is going to pop up is the one we had a while ago. Let me show you. Right here. So you see top up?
Yeah.
It asks you from what account.
Okay.
Right? You can also set it up if you wish to have it saved. So if it is saved already for you, you don't have to go ahead and enter the number every time. You can just choose, let's say, my flow phone or whatever you choose to save it at. Good?
Yes. Oh.
You go ahead, you choose it, you put your amount, and you go ahead and submit. If it's something that's already saved for you, you do not even have to put in that telephone number. Right? We can help you and show you how you can go ahead. So when you click top up, it's going to ask you which one. If let's say you have my phone, my husband's phone, whatever, right? Everybody has their own little way of living their life. You choose who you want to top up, you put in the amount, you click submit, you press OK, and that's it. Your phone is topped up.
Can
right?
you top up international phone or just?
For now, we only have Flow and Digital.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we are unable to top up Flow and Digital outside of the.
Yes, you can. You can
Outside of
actually
the
top up within the region.
But Flow and
region, not
Yes,
international.
yes,
not
international.
US and Canada.
No. But it has to be Flow or Digital.
Alright.
And you can top up for somebody else. Yes, you can.
Right. So that's what I was telling you. So in this case, it is
a friend of yours.
A friend. They must top up.
In that case, you would need to put in the positive number, right?
Yes.
Very important to note, likewise, all the time, even when the merchants are doing it, make sure the number you put in is the number you want to top up.
Yes.
Since you should tell you measure twice, cut once, right?
Yes.
So you check it twice before you actually go ahead and click submit. Okay? Alright.
Okay, I'm good.
Next one. Now, important, I think, in my opinion, that is one of the most important features of mobile banking to senior citizens. Being able to set alerts. You might hear that and you might say, what does that mean?
Yeah,
So what does that mean? It means that if you set alerts for deposits and withdrawals, every single time there is a deposit, your phone is going to make ring, you will see a text message come up, your email, your inbox will make whatever noise, you will see an email come up and it will tell you that your account number, so on and so forth, has been debited $1,000. So you know that means, okay, I went to the ATM, I took $1,000, my phone just told me the $1,000 left in my account. Right? As with the two previous presenters, imagine you at home, minding your own little business, and you get a message telling you your account has been debited $500. You know you haven't paid for anything for $500. You haven't used your card. Then that should alert you, wait, why is that $500 leaving my account? What is that about, right? If you did not have the alert set, sometimes 2 weeks ago that happened, and it's only now you're catching yourself and saying, but wait, $500? No, the bank does not authorize us, well, the bank frowns upon us giving other person's PIN numbers and so on, right? But again, I'm going to be very realistic. So sometimes you're really at home and you cannot make it to town. Your granddaughter may be going to town, your grandson going to town, whoever is going to town, and you ask them to go to the ATM and take $50 for you, right? Because you want to go market tomorrow, you're not able to go town today, they're going to town, you send them to take the money. But you know you tell them to take $50. Yes. Then you get in a text message, you tell them $150. What does that say to you? Voila. That means they took $150. If you did not have that alert set, you would never know that. They bring back your $50 for you, they give you back your card in your hand, and the contents in your hand. Messi Papa Boje, your granddaughter, your grandson go and take your money for you, and all is well. However, $150 left the account, and you would not have known that. 2-3 months down the line, you're saying, but wait, as though my balance is supposed to be $1,000, how come it's $900? That is when you realize, wait, that withdrawal, $150? No. In our minds, again, we are thinking, National Bank that take my $100. Not even noticing that, okay, there may have been this situation where that happened, right? Another thing that's important for others, you are expecting pension benefits, either from Social Security, from government, from whatever institution you may have worked for, and you know some of us not even calling the bank. Some of us, and we know that, we come into the bank, stand up in the line, coming forward to book just to ask the teller, Social Security pay me now. Mark you maybe make that whole work on Friday morning and Social Security don't pay you yet. They pay you Friday afternoon, but you make that whole work, you have to go home, come back down. By the time you do all that, you're tired already. However, if we have alerts set, then you're going to get a message telling you $626.46 has been credited to your account, and you know that it's the amount Social Security sending for you. So you know, bam, you're in business. You can go into and check your facts. You don't need to come to the bank and stand up in the line to ask that question, right? So you understand how important the alerts are, right?
Yes.
Right, I'm happy to hear that. I get in the alerts. I'm happy to hear that. I'm using it, right? A few options we have here for alerts. Go back a while. So you see a few alerts that you may see, and you can set it for yourself. You can go onto the app. These are the alerts options. You can set it for yourself. As Nigel said earlier, if you're not comfortable setting it for yourself, you can come to the bank. You can go, but at least that one trip you make to the bank will save you from 500 other trips you may have to make. Good. So you have ATM deposits, ATM withdrawals. And we have two options for ATM withdrawals because one is checking and one is savings, okay? Yes. Then we have the automatic debit. So let's say you have a standing order put in place because you took a bed by cuts or a fridge by cuts, and you want to find out when they take their money. Good? That's what that automatic debit is about. Cash deposit speaks for itself. Cash withdrawals, it speaks for itself. Online transfer deposit will handle things like the Social Security deposits and the government payments and those types of things, okay? Then payroll deposits, same thing. So some of us may be on a board of directors or something like that, and you're expecting to get money every month. Somebody, you're renting your downstairs apartment, you want to find out if that person pay you. You know, you maybe have something in town, somebody have to pay you every month, you have to pay you $100, all those types of things. You can set the alerts so that for every deposit and every withdrawal from your account, you are at the advantage of knowing exactly what is going on, okay? And then we have some persons who chooses the two options at the bottom says saving balance greater than or saving balance less than, or my daily balance is, let's say, one down. Daily balance is what it will do every morning like an alarm. It's going to tell you your balance on your account is $60. $60. Until one day you might get that balance in the morning and it might tell you $160. So you say, okay, that $100 reach. So if you don't want it to be for every transaction, because I know for some persons text messages that's really irritated them. Every time you're on the phone making ping and you're checking, right, that's not ping, you know? So you don't want all of that. You might just want every day for it to tell you what your balance is, so you know where you are at, then you can do that as well. It will send you the balance first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. You can choose. Okay? Now, if you do not have mobile banking, there are a number of options. You can come to the branch to sign up. Very simple application process. We will give you the information you need. All you really need, all we're going to give you is your user ID and your password, and also the information if somebody needs to send money to you via mobile banking. Okay? Next slide. And so, of course, I know everybody's thinking, so tell me how much National Bank going to charge me for mobile banking? What it is that I have to pay for NBD to do all of that for me? And the answer is, it's free.
It's free.
It's free, and it really is free. And I know your mind is saying nothing is free, but mobile banking is free. Okay? Mobile banking is free because what it is, we want our customers, especially our senior citizens, to be financially independent. We want you to be able to know what is going on your account. We want you to be able to manage it and be in control of what's happening around you. Okay?
Let's go for this.
Not less, but cool. at least you wouldn't have too many people. Like imagine the line long because you know this fortnight is Social Security fortnight, and everybody stand up in the line just to ask whether or not Social Security pay. And if they're at home listening to Azari on the radio, you're letting music playing on the background, and you're in oil because you know one can tell you your money is rich yet, or your money is there already, right?
Right. For senior citizens and make them wait twice as long.
So guys,
we have
a senior citizens line at NBD, but we can come up with
I was afraid, but I didn't know.
You didn't know I'll always bring it
This is
up.
what, but here's the situation. But we will speak about that more because as my colleague said, this is being broadcasted live. But here's the situation. Remember, everybody waiting for when there is a tell, right?
I bring it up.
No, let me tell you, they're making us wait too long.
We will talk about it. We will talk about
That's
it.
not the forum. That's not the forum. Of course.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Oh, hold on. She has a question.
There's a question.
You can go ahead.
I used to get the what's that I have on my card?
You used to get.
Text message. I want to know the balance in my
Right.
no longer get
You don't get that.
Yes.
But you're checking.
Okay, so you meet the number that you can text to find out? Yeah. Okay, so it's the same thing, 2623. So you can understand, so 2 NBD, 2623.
Okay,
So what information?
But I will, if anything else, you can come to us, we can tell
the
you.
question, you want to repeat?
What's the question?
No, she was saying that
Just to get the balance.
she used to be able to text to get certain things like the balances, or because Mobanking also has the option of being able to text, like a regular text message. Good? So she was asking what is the number, because she wasn't getting it anymore. But after, I will still check it out for you, because you may just be doing so. Once it's initiated, once you will not have to do anything to it again, but I can check it for you.
All right, so can you put on the lights? We're going to learn how to do one thing on mobile banking before we leave, right? So, oh, we had one more question. Sorry. Sure, Mrs. Bradley.
Some of us who are not all who work with mobile is there any special day or time that you come to the bank so that you move along step by step so that you can understand?
Yes.
The staff is always there. I've done it a number of times with persons that we can go through, and at the end of the day, it's just you to make the time, right? If you're right. No, you come in and you can come either to the teller or the person sitting. Let them know that today you are here so that somebody can show you how to use mobile banking. But remember, you have to allot the time so that somebody can actually sit down and guide you. Because it's very simple. It is very easy.
Okay, so everybody connected.
Hi guys, it's something from home.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Somebody had a question?
Everything at the institute was my very calculated. I went to use go market instead of having the money. And I took her advice and I used to pay all my bills and transfer money, everything. I think as soon as you get money, it's a little at the beginning, and it's for me to learn. But I can tell all my friends there that you have to do from there, even though I went to. Anyway, even you transfer money from one bank to the other, the going time it becomes a little problem. And you and probably the bankers can tell you what. And I enjoy the session.
All right, great. So after everybody, you have to show your friends how to use it. So that's what you can do. Show the others how to use it. Anybody who wants to help, if you know people, your friends, your peers, and they want to learn, know how to top up. Yes.
All right. Okay, so everyone, so just to see another piece of information. Take in we are listening. You know, you speak and you listen. So, Mrs. Badger, thank you very much for the suggestion, and I believe somebody else maybe mentioned it. So it is that maybe we'll be able to set up another forum like this, not for presentations, but for us to have persons on hand to assist you to show you how to do it. Okay? So in opposed to you having to come to the bank, we'll be able to set it up and get persons to come in to be able to show you how to use it. The date and time will be communicated, but for now, because it's something that's going to be a little time consuming, we want to ensure that everybody's comfortable, but at least we'll be able to show you at least one thing today and anything deeper, and you can handle it afterwards.
Can I say something?
Hold on 1 minute. Stand us up. Taking the information better. Okay, that is also those. We can maybe make that available for for you once we set up the forum where you can come into practice. Okay?
Okay, so last question and then.
Praise of NBD, in praise of NBD, I have to say that avoid long lines. I remove my hat. So my gray hair is on display. My stick is by my side, my sturdy companion. And I go to the right of the building as I enter, where there's a desk space. I fill in a pink form, and in 10 minutes I'm out. I avoid all the lines, so in case you all are in a situation that I am and want to avoid queuing, show yourselves. Show yourselves, fill in the pink form, give it to somebody, out in 10 minutes.
I love my band. Oh, it's a nonsense. That's why it's not important.
I'm going to come out. You'll have using us according to the UN Charter for older persons. You'll have 60, you'll have supposed to be 60, and you'll have 70. We'll have lunches
All right, so we're ready to learn how to do one thing on mobile banking. Okay, so everybody has got to login in terms of
Once you have internet, once you have the application, you will just go through it. If you do not, that's okay. Don't feel out of place. We'll be able to assist you. And for everyone, we want to take your name.
So once again, we want to thank you for joining NBD's workshop on cybersecurity. It is in recognition of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and of course it was done in collaboration with the Council on Aging. Thank you for joining, and do have a good morning.